Membership for list of arrays. Value error. The truth value of an array with more than one element is ambiguous. Use a.any or a.or error problem. Running the code above, it gives me the result true at the first iteration, while value error comes out afterwards. True. Value error. The truth value of an array with more than one element is ambiguous. Use a.any or a.or. I have no idea why it starts to go wrong at second iteration. Anybody can help me, Plaza.
Essentially, you can't use int to test for NumPy arrays in a Python list. It will only ever work for the first element, because of an optimization in the way Python tests for equality. What's happening is that the implementation for list._contains_, which int defers to, is using a shortcut to find a match faster, by first checking for identity. Most people using Python know this as the is operator. This is faster than equals equality checks because all it has to do is see if the pointers of both objects are the same value. It is worth checking for first. An identity test works the same for any Python object, including NumPy arrays. The implementation essentially would look like this if it was written in Python. What happens for your list of NumPy arrays then is this. The array false, result is not a boolean, but if once a boolean result, so it is passed to, see equivalent of, the bool function. Bool array false, produces the error you see. Or, done manually. You'll have to use any NumPy.array_equal to create a version of list._contains_ that doesn't use normal equals equality checks. And you can then use that to get true for your loop.
When you compare two Python lists for equality, you get a single true or false result. But when you compare NumPy arrays for equality, the result is another NumPy array where each element I is the result of comparing the ith element of the first array with the ith element of the second array. When you execute Q in Q, it will test Q4 as with each element of Q, and if they are not the same elements it will then do a comparison for equality. This is repeated until it finds an equal match, identity or compares equal, in which case it will return true, else return false if it finds no equal match. When Q is the first element of Q, as is the case the first time through the loop, it compares itself first with the first element of Q and finds the is condition exists and thus returns true. But the second time through the loop, Q is the second element of Q, and when it is compared with the first element of Q, since the is condition is not met, it tries to do an equality comparison.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.